Christina Brown here with the Brown team. If you didn't know, a very important part of buying or selling a home is the appraisal. There are different reasons for wanting or needing an appraisal. Different people can get them or order them. There are different types and there are different requirements. There's a lot entailed in an appraisal. First of all, what is an appraisal? An appraisal is actually a process where they hire somebody called an appraiser to determine the fair market value of a home. The appraiser has to meet several requirements in order to be an appraiser so that they can do appraisals. So it is a very complicated process and there are very strict guidelines that they must follow. And they have to be certified, they have to be licensed, all of these things. They have to go through special training, classes, school, certifications, etc. How do they determine what your home value is? It depends on who's doing it. Why is the appraisal being done? So let's talk about maybe why an appraisal might be done. First of all, sometimes people, if they're thinking of selling a home, will get an appraisal. Is an appraisal required to sell your home and figure out what price to list it at? No, it is not. We as agents can look at a lot of the same data and have a really good idea and our pulse on the market of what your home would likely sell for. The only time we can see appraisals come in very handy when selling is if it is a property that is very hard to value. It is so unique and so special that there aren't any comps, that sometimes we will ask you to employ an appraiser to help with that. It will be baffling for all of us involved, but that can be the best way. And again, it is their best estimation based on the data they have. But if your property is so unique, sometimes you really just don't know what it's worth until you get it on the market and you get reactions from buyers, because buyers are out and they're comparing everything in your price range to each other and based on their specific needs and wants. So it could be worth more to one buyer and less to another. It's a tricky situation. So sometimes when you're selling, but if you're selling but you sell to a buyer that's getting a loan, a mortgage, then that buyer's lender will likely require and order an appraisal to be done at the buyer's expense. That is one of the buyer's closing costs. So when you're selling, you will typically eventually encounter having an appraisal done, but it's not paid for by you, it's not ordered by you, it doesn't belong to you. So a lot of times if you're a seller, you don't even get the results of the appraisal. The only time we do on that side of things is if there's an issue with the value, they have to show us proof. So on the selling side, that's how you could be affected by an appraisal. Now, of course, if you get a cash buyer, they probably won't do one and you won't most likely have an appraisal done. If you are purchasing a home, you are that buyer getting a mortgage, your lender will require you to have an appraisal. You pay for that, the appraiser comes out. Really, this is to protect the mortgage company, the investment, because your home is collateral and they want to make sure that that home is enough to cover the debt if you don't pay. Another reason might be if you're refinancing or you're getting out like a home equity line or you're wanting to lower your interest rate. A lot of times they'll do an appraisal in those situations, but they typically won't be the full-blown where they come in your house. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they'll do a desktop or a drive-by appraisal. So there are different types for different situations. Sometimes you want one if you have a situation where you inherit a property and you're trying to figure out, like buying out an heir, like if there's heirs involved, or you're dealing with an elder estate attorney, or for estate planning. Sometimes for legal reasons you'll need to have an appraisal done, and that would just be you as the owner or potential owner paying for that out of your pocket for legal reasons, right? Sometimes people have been getting them to help fight their property tax assessment, so to show the valuation in order to fight a tax assessment. And sometimes people just do it, owners, out of curiosity. Now, again, as agents, we can do these for you for free, and most agents, I don't charge, typically are not going to charge you. If you want to see how much equity you have or where are you sitting, what is your home worth, maybe you're thinking about selling it eventually, if it's enough money where it gets you excited, who knows. So there could be many reasons and there are different types, which I kind of brushed on some. Now, what do they use to determine fair market value? Appraisers have to use recent comps. The comps have to be of similar property. They have to be typically within a mile radius. And if it's in like a subdivision or a neighborhood where there's a lot of similar homes homes that have sold. They really need to try to stay in the neighborhood as much as possible, but they're also needing to compare the same or similar floor plans, the space, the amount of square footage, the age. Another factor is condition. They rate it based on condition. So if one home's been totally remodeled and updated and everything is new, and another house, everything is 50 years old and it's original, and the roof is leaking and those types of things, they're going to get a totally different value for both of those types of properties. So they do take that into account. So the recent comps and the condition. And the other part to that, this is why we have a talk with buyers about appraisal, is your loan type. So it's very important to know what kind of loan you're approved for through your lender, so that when we look at properties, we can look for those specific things that matter if you're VA versus FHA versus conventional versus USDA versus whatever kind of loan that you're getting. So we ask that as agents for a purpose, for a reason. Hope that helps. Have a great day.